Coming up on Fulton Today, it's the final week to register for the November general and special election.
The push is on to make sure that those who want to register to vote do so before the October 10th deadline. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'll have more of that story coming up.
And I'm Lieutenant Siobhan Edwards with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, and I'll explain how we're helping the youth of Fulton County prosper and evolve.
And we'll look at the events the county has planned for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker, and Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. The face of leadership will change next month for the city of Atlanta and for Fulton County, but in 1 week, the chance to register to vote in that November general and special election will end. FGTV's Brian Robinson has the story.
Most voters who will cast a vote in the November 7th special and general election are already registered. But for new voters or voters who have changed addresses since the last election, only have 1 full week left to register to vote. With key races up for grabs in next month's general and special elections, Fulton's election officials are urging residents to register to vote with their own campaign.
And we're out here to empower and educate the community.
On National Voter Registration Day, county residents were encouraged to join millions of others to register to vote. The voter education team set up in the Government Center atrium to hand out voting information and registration forms to those wanting to exercise their civic duty.
National Voter Registration Day was created in 2012. It's on the fourth Tuesday of every September, and it is a day of civic unity when all voters can put their differences aside and register to vote.
As a reminder for those who missed Voter Registration Day, online registration is available. You can also register at your local city hall, the Georgia Department of Driver Services, any county library, and at one of the 3 county offices listed here.
When you're registering in person, you can just come in and fill out a registration card. If you're going to register online, you need to use a Georgia driver's license.
We want to remind people that if you've had a change in status, if you've moved, if you've gotten married and changed your name, you will still need to re-register.
After the October 10th registration deadline, the next key dates to remember are October 16th through November 3rd. That's when early voting for both elections begins and ends, including a Saturday and Sunday option.
We will have one weekend, October 28th and October 29th, in which the hours will be 8:30 to 7 on the Saturday and noon to 5 on the Sunday. We will have a total of 17 days for early voting at 22 locations.
And though early voting polling locations will close at 7 p.m., that time will be extended 1 hour on the November 7th election day.
State law requires that Atlanta's municipal general election have hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And because we're having a countywide election in conjunction, because of the vacancy for Fulton County Chair, we have to make sure that everyone has the same voting hours. To see a full list of the candidates and the places you can register to vote, log on to fultonelections.com. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Doing business in the Fulton County Government Center is getting easier. That's because Fulton's Department of Real Estate and Asset Management, better known as DREAM, is in the process of replacing the entrance doors at 3 entrances to the Government Center. The public safety entrance doors and the Peachtree entrance doors have been replaced, while the Pryor Street entrance doors are scheduled to be in place by the end of this week.
We feel it's important to maintain the architectural integrity of the Government Center and have chose doors of similar design materials. And although they'll look the same, the engineering technology of the door closers and related components is far advanced and will make smooth operation as the door opens and closes.
All of the doors were original to the building, which was built over 30 years ago.
Although there have been some improvements over time, the doors operate poorly and don't perform to their design specifications. Like the existing doors in the government center, all will be ADA compliant.
Between failing to work and repair parts becoming unavailable, the Dream Team says it was time for an upgrade. County employees get a progress report on the transition to becoming City of South Fulton employees. During the most recent South Fulton transition employee meeting at the Aviation Community Cultural Center, the remaining employees from Parks and Rec, Police, and Fire were once again told the new city continues its promise of hiring them at their current pay. With the teams of planning and community development, code enforcement, and business licenses already in the city, the transition continues to go smoothly. Unlike previous meetings where only one question was asked, this one was the complete opposite.
A lot of the questions obviously are about health insurance, premiums, they're about does your leave transfer over, what happens if you come back to the county later. But all those questions get asked every meeting, and we're trying to answer them the best we can because as we tell everybody every week, it's the truth as we know it today.
Although the remaining departments do not transfer over until after the start of the new year, employees appreciate the opportunity to express their concerns.
I think it's a great idea to have the meetings that way. People get their questions answered and everything is not so uncertain.
The next meeting is scheduled to take place before the end of the year. The Sheriff's Office gets ready to kick off its major teen conference known as HYPE. Well, what's on tap this year? Here to tell us all about it is Lieutenant Siobhan Edwards with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
So once again, we're talking about that HYPE conference. Tell everybody about it.
HYPE is for what it stands for, Helping Youth Prosper and Evolve. Sheriff Jackson started this program 8 years ago, and his whole goal was to help bridge the gap between the youth and the law enforcement community.
And what age group are we targeting here?
The age group that we're focused on is kids through 6th through 12th grade, pretty much 11 through 17 years old.
And you always have great speakers and workshops. What can the kids expect?
We have 3 different workshops this year. They are gangs, the judicial system, and youth and law enforcement interaction. The kids will get to talk with professionals in the community, different people who have experienced a life of criminal activity, as well as some judges as well going to teach some of the workshops.
And parents are also invited to attend. What's planned for them?
Yes, we encourage all parents to attend. We have created a forum for them, and we will get to discuss the challenges it is to raise a kid in today's society.
And let me get your final thoughts about this year's HYPE conference.
All kids that attend will receive 8 hours of community service, as well as they will be exposed to the beautiful campus at Atlanta Metropolitan College.
Lieutenant Edwards, of course, FGTV will be there. Thank you so much for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, well, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office 8th Annual HYPE Conference takes place Saturday, October 14th from 8:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Registration starts at 7:30. For more information, call 404-612-6624 or log on to fultonsheriff.org. Juvenile court and the library system thank grandparents who are parents once again. Participants in the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program come together for their 3rd annual appreciation luncheon at the Piccadilly Restaurant in Greenbrier Mall.
We gave awards to Fulton County Juvenile Court for working with the grandparents in the community and supporting every effort. And a lot of those grandparents came out of the juvenile court system.
The luncheon celebration was organized to show appreciation and recognition to the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren support group. Juvenile court, judges, and numerous grandparents who have been through the program were on hand to offer their testimony.
My message was that things happen by coincidence, and I called it when God winks. But sometimes we may not be prepared for whatever is going to happen, but sometimes you have to take a look around you and say, you know, why do I have this baby back? Why is it that I'm doing certain things? Why is it that I'm in this situation? It's because God wants me to do more.
We get good news. We're getting good resources being brought to us, how to raise our grandchildren, what to go for, what is out there for us. and it's a great pleasure to be here with them today.
The Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program was started by the Juvenile Court's Probation Division. A support group meets every third Thursday at the Mechanicsville Library. And when we come back, wrapping up the first ever Fulton County Opioid Awareness Month campaign. It's in our district by district coverage next. Fulton wraps up its first ever Opioid Awareness Month campaign with an update from the Vice Chair, and seniors show off some of their best works of art. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Vice Chairman Bob Ellis, who briefs the media on the opioid crisis in the county and Fulton's plans moving forward. The District 2 Commissioner gave his remarks during a press conference with the Union City Mayor and other county partners on the final week of the Fulton County Opioid Awareness Month campaign.
Every citizen should have a location that's close to them that they can go get their drugs disposed of. The most important thing about this is what we're really trying to get at here is it's a preventative effort. If we're just dealing with stuff on the back end, we're just going to be constantly chasing this problem. So we want to have efforts like this that are out in all of our Fulton County communities so that we are preventing folks from ever getting down the pathway to addiction.
I have to thank Vice Chair Ellis for reaching out to us to make sure that we had this box to show our community that we are concerned about what happens not only in their neighbors' houses, but their houses as well.
I really appreciate this effort because it is the prevention piece, right? I stand up here representing the end of somebody's story, but we need someone to tell the beginning of their story.
Here are some of the facts that Fulton shared during the Awareness Month. In 2016, 154 people died in Fulton County from opioid-related causes. Nationally, the number of opioid-related deaths has more than quadrupled since 1999. Overdoses now surpass car crashes as the leading cause of accidental death. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has declared the use of opioids, including fentanyl, oxycontin, and hydrocodone, a serious public health threat. And finally, in District 6, Commissioner Emma I. Darnell celebrates International Day of Peace with seniors from the Hapeville Senior Center. Each year, the day is observed around the world on the 21st of September.
What a wonderful way to begin the day with peace. We want to thank Mrs. Gomez and the entire Hapeville Senior Center community for allowing us to come out this morning to share not only in great food and fellowship, but to think seriously about the meaning of peace.
The United Nations General Assembly has declared that as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace, both within and among all nations and people.
Well, the message was we need peace. We ought to be at peace all the time. And I thought it was just real inspiring.
The Hapeville seniors honored the memories of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi for their nonviolence movements and beliefs.
We need peace in this world. I think about the hurricanes. I think about the earthquakes. And I truly believe that God is trying to get our attention.
They also had a moment of silence to mark the day. The theme for 2017 is Together for Peace, Respect, Safety, and Dignity for All. And when we come back, we'll check to see what's on tap for the 2017 Breast Cancer Awareness Month campaign. Stay with us. Well, as you may know, October is the national month to go pink. That's because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the month where there's the annual campaign to increase awareness about the disease. Deborah DeWitt is the nursing supervisor for the Fulton County Department of Health and Wellness, it is great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, before we get into what's on tap this month for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, talk to us first about some of the current breast cancer facts and stats here in Georgia.
Some of the breast cancer facts in the state of Georgia include an estimated 7,000 women, over 7,000 women would actually be diagnosed with breast cancer, and approximately 1,300 would actually die from the disease. Breast cancer is the #1 diagnosed cancer among women in the state of Georgia. Within the United States, it is estimated that over 250,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the year 2017, and approximately 40,000 will actually die from the disease. Breast cancer remains the #1 cause of cancer death in women within the United States also.
And why is it more important now than ever for women to get these mammograms?
It's extremely important for women to receive their annual mammograms as soon as possible because early detection is the key to increasing the prognosis for their survival. Women that come for their annual mammograms are screened annually, and if there's something abnormal that have occurred, then we can pick it up as soon as possible. We can get the woman out for additional procedures or diagnostic procedures that she may need, and ultimately increase her chances of surviving if she's diagnosed with breast cancer.
And now I understand that Fulton County has some services for women who are uninsured or underinsured and under 40 years old.
Currently, Fulton County Board of Health has a program called Breast and Cervical Cancer Program. It's a state and federal funded program to provide women who are uninsured and underinsured mammograms and additional diagnostic procedures as needed. These services also include screening for pap smears and any additional treatment that you may need if you have abnormal results.
And finally, let's get to the events. What's on tap this month?
So for 2017, the Breast and Cervical Cancer Program currently is planning a hat and door competition. This allows the departments within Fulton County to decorate and develop different ideas as it pertains to breast cancer and put their message out there that they want everybody to know as far as breast cancer pertains to them. We have several departments that focus on breast cancer survivors, and some departments focus on raising money for breast cancer. But it's just an event for Fulton County employees to compete, and they are awarded prizes at the end of the month of October who actually competes.
Deborah DeWitt, you always do such a great job. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you more this month.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we recently shared with you that September was National Childhood Passenger Safety Month. Well, we've got an update. On National Childhood Passenger Safety Week, Fulton's health team partnered with Union City to make sure that kids were properly placed in their car seats.
There are 3 types of child restraints: infant seat, convertible seats, and booster. And it depends on the child's age, weight, and height that will determine which seat that we will put the child.
Firefighters from Union City, Fire Station 41, welcome parents and kids for a community CPSS checkup.
One of the biggest mistakes parents make with putting their children in a car seat is the lack of putting them in the car seat, not having them restrained. And then there's partially putting them into the car seat, which means they just might use the lap belt and not put the shoulder belt across them. Obviously that can cause abdominal injuries.
It was a lot I didn't know. So like even my 10-year-old was riding in front, I figured she's big enough and she looks like her feet touched the ground, got up there and she said, she's 13 because the airbags can kill her.
Unintentional injuries are the #1 cause of death of children under the age of 14. Fulton County firefighters also check for the proper install of car seats and boosters at their fire stations. Good news to share. Fulton County awards its top runners in the Kaiser Permanente Corporate 5K Run Walk. Fulton's team joined hundreds of people on the streets of Atlanta for the 35th anniversary event. The Run Walk is organized to promote health and fitness among Metro Atlanta companies and their employees. Michelle Braxton works in the Fulton County Human Resources Department, and she received the female fastest time for the Fulco team. And Atif Henderson works in the Fulton County Human Resources Department, and he received the male fastest time for the Fulco team as well. Everyone was just excited to participate.
It was challenging. It was very challenging. I did not run. A lot of people think I'm slim and trim and, you know, I got it like that, so I ran. I actually walked the majority of the 5K. I made and took a couple of jogs, but after that, no, I was walking.
Fulton's team consisted of walkers and runners from almost every Fulton County department and agency. And when Fulton Today returns, turning the Fulton County Government Center into an art gallery. Stay with us. The National Arts Program makes its way back to the Fulton County Government Center. The pieces of work you see here were done by Fulton County employees and their family members who took part in the 21st Annual National Arts Program. The artists and their masterpieces were featured during a special ceremony at the Government Center.
This year we had 58 entries. We had about 25 from adults and 33 from youth and young people. And so we're excited to be able to offer this program and to showcase the imaginative and creative talents of all of our people that work and have some connection to the workers of Fulton County.
During the awards presentation, winners were announced in categories ranging from professional to youth under 12 years old.
My daughter won first place and I won third. So this is really a family affair that both my daughter and I placed. This is our first competition. This is called Tiger in the Jungle and by Olivia Ducree. And this is one of her first competitions, and I'm so proud of her that she was able to win.
The National Arts Program provides funding for exhibits across the country by offering to pay for certificates and other prizes. Organizers say the program boosts the overall morale of employees and encourages everyone to discover their artistic talents regardless of their chosen profession. And finally, arts and history fans can experience both all in one place. Fulton County Arts and Culture is presenting the Contrapunto exhibit at the Abernathy Arts Center in Sandy Springs.
The founder of the group of Contrapunto, Carlos Solis, contacted me about the show. He reached out to me and let me know about his artist collective, and it all sounded actually really interesting to me, and it sounded like something that we weren't doing here.
Featuring the work of various Latin artists, it's an exhibition that explores the rich history of Latino culture and folklore.
There's a lack of presence here in Atlanta. I used to live in Chicago. When I moved here and started visiting galleries and art centers, I didn't see any major artists from Latin America here. So that gave me the idea to start something. Little by little, I put this group together.
Though September was Hispanic Heritage Month, the exhibit runs through October 13th and is free and open to the public. Once again, the exhibit is on display at the Abernathy Arts Center in Sandy Springs. For a list of hours and other questions, just call 404-613-6172 or log on to fultonarts.org. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. You can watch a replay of this show or any other FGTV program on our YouTube channel, and be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.